So, really good friend of mine actually just emailed me and said, Brad, I'm hitting the ball really, really well, but I've been neglecting my short game. Maybe something that you can relate to. And so, something that I could identify with right away, and I could recognize just in his message to me, was he said, I don't know how far I'm going to hit a chip or a pitch shot. And as soon as he said that, I already knew what the problem was, right? He's kind of lost his system. And so what I mean by that is, I teach a clock method, right? If you can visualize, I'm the clock, okay? You're looking at me, I'm the clock. Midnight, 6 o'clock, right? 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, right? And so I want everyone to find their own clock system. So we're gonna have something like 7 to 5, 8 to 4, 9 to 3, 10 to 2, and 11 to 1 for those that are more flexible with all of our wedges, okay? And the most important aspect, besides having perfect lengths going back, right, because we don't want to have a 7 o'clock wedge shot that goes to a 10 o'clock, right? We're not going to hit it as far as we want. We're going to hit it way too far, or we're going to slow down and chunk it because we know our body says, oh my gosh, I took it back way too far. So the most important thing is having one constant wedge speed. I like to be somewhere around 65, 70%, right? And so I need you to practice having one speed for all your wedge motions, okay? This is how we can create a consistent and repeatable wedge matrix or clock system. If we have the same exact speed, and all we're doing is varying the length, then we can predict how far it's going to go based on practice. So the second question he said was, when do I go from a basic chipping motion, which I teach what Phil Mickelson does, right hand forward for lefties, left hand forward, back of our stance, right? And you maintain the angle. It's very easy. It's really hard to miss hit it. And for most amateurs, this is super effective. And even for high-end players, it just makes it even that much easier, in my opinion. He said, when do we go from a basic chip to a pitch shot? And so the answer is simple. You can hit a basic chip as short, right? It's going to go, what, 5 yards total, or as long as you really want to comfortably. And you can do that with your lob wedge and all the way down to, heck, even your 7-iron or 6-iron if you want to hit a bump and run that's going to run, or maybe punch it out of the trees and it's going to run 70 yards for you. But the real answer is, once you find your 7 to 5 length and speed, so left arm to 7, release to 5, with our typical wedge speed, okay? Whenever you find how far that shot goes for you, for me that went, blinding myself, 39 yards with my lob wedge, which is about right. It's about a 35-yard shot outside. It's going to check for me. Once I know, okay, my 7 to 5, because I know my arm speed is always going to be pretty similar, I've learned how to control my length. When my 7 to 5 goes X yardage, that's when we want to start using a pitch shot, in my opinion, right? Other than that, let's live with chipping around the green, okay? We get that 35-yard or longer, then we can start going to our clock system, right? If I need to hit it further, I know I'm going to go to my 8 to 4, okay? You're going to see how much further this ball will carry, okay? 8, 6 speed to 4, okay? That ball carried blindly, 48, I think. Ran out quite a bit on this chipping green. We'll check more outside. And so that ball carried 45 yards, 10 yards further than my 7 to 5 when I went to my 8 to 4, right? And so you need to have one stock wedge speed, and then you can get into the variables, right? Opening up the club face, holding it open. Maybe you want to hit it shorter and hold the club face open. That ball's going to stop on a dime, right? Maybe you want to learn how to hit it lower and how to make it run out. That's really simple. All we're going to do is then let that toe turn over a little bit post-impact. And instead of that ball that you just saw stop on a dime, I'm actually going to use this toe as a steering wheel. And even though this is a lob wedge, I'm going to have that ball low and running out. So once we learn our stock wedge swing speed, we learn our clock method, then you can really have fun with all the intangibles and all the variables that you can add to a short game. And you can become a wizard, right? And so it's super important that we learn our stock speed, we master our length, 7 to 5, 8 to 4, 9 to 3, 10 to 2, right? And it's always the same speed, right? Even if I'm gonna go 9 to 3, always gonna be my same 65, 70% arm speed, okay? That ball carried 84 yards. So hopefully this helps. Make sure you have a clock system. Make sure you find your speed, and then make sure you trust it. And that happens by doing a lot of reps. And anyways,